Hello. So, turn this down as tad for myself. We are here with UBL Season 10 Finals. I feel like it's taken a little bit too long for us to get to finals of UBL in Generation 9. But with Jig defeated, the one person stopping us from getting to finals, it's really fitting for who it has to be that we play in finals. The man, the myth, the legend himself. It's Lord Nobody and the Salty Swampert, the only person to beat us in the regular season. As a recap of their team, they have Tornadus Incarnate, Ursa Luna, Gothitelle, Roaring Moon, Thwacky, Barraskewda, Terra Lucario, Terra Coalossal, Spupa, Terra Beartic, and Dedenne. So, yeah, last time we got smoked. Game 1 was not even close. I went back and watched it. In Game 2, we did better, but not well enough. With them bringing Coalossal and not really a good way for us to stop it, kind of makes it a bit of an issue. I was actually considering making trades just for this matchup. I was going to try and see if I could get a Pokemon with Fake Out just to try and stop Coalossal from being a thing, or at least force some form of other prep. But that would have involved dropping Mismagius, and Mismagius proved its worth and also did help us actually win in the semi-finals against Jig. So there's got arguments whether it was the right or wrong play. There's a chance I would have lost 3 seasons in a row to Jig in semi-finals if I didn't have Mismagius, but because I did, we make it to finals, and we've got a toughie on our hands. Not just with the Coalossal as well, like, I've got to be ready for Coalossal. It dumpstered me last time, so regardless of whether or not they think it's a good idea to bring again, I have to be ready for it. On top of that, they've also got Tornadus Incarnate, which is probably the best form of speed control just that there is on the fast end, as well as a really annoying Trick Room Setter in Gothitelle. Offers them Fake Out pressure as well as good utility, as well as having Thwacky for good Fake Out pressure. Roaring Moon is annoyingly fast and also just hits just hard enough where pretty much anything from like a supportive Mon can finish it off. Ursa Luna hits like a truck, but hasn't seen as much play as you might expect. It's kind of just been a Mon that's come like a couple weeks, dumpstered people, and that's it. But that's just what they've done. They were number 1 going into playoffs for a reason. Terra Lucario has to be respected, of course, because Terra normal E-Speed, but they've not even just been using that. I'd say Lucario is one of the most the Pokemon they've used the best throughout this season, because they haven't just gone Terra normal E-Speed, they've been using things like Terra Psychic for stronger Zen Headbutts, and other things as well. Terra Zen Headbutt was one that I remember seeing when watching through all the matches. Spupa offers redirection, which is annoying. Beartic can be part of some kind of rain mode because they have Tornadus. They also have Barraskewda, which isn't just for activating Coalossal. It could be used in a rain mode due to how fast it is with Swift Swim. So, yeah. This isn't going to be easy. First of all, I want to shout out Kathy. Kathy and I haven't been doing too much prep with each other this time around, this season. Last season it was like every week. We would always help each other. This time around it's been less so, but for this one, they were kind enough to do some mocks and refine the team to a point where I'm happy with it. I made some changes just a few minutes ago that helped like refine it one last time. But otherwise, I think I'm happy, and I think this is going to give us our best shot to win. So, similar to when we played against Jigs, I don't think anything broke. I think we're fine. Similar to when we played against Jig, we've got 2 leads, that we have planned. However, unlike against Jig, which I brought 2 leads to disincentivize them from maybe bringing answers to Regieleki, this time we're bringing 2 leads, one if they bring Coalossal and one if they don't. After testing with Capybara, it's pretty clear that Coalossal is almost certainly coming, and we'll talk about why when we get there, but if it doesn't, then we're in luck, honestly. We're in really good shape. So the star of the show here, and the Pokemon that's going to come to both leads, is Scarf Regieleki. Has to be done. Because this is our only way of neutralizing the Coalossal. We outspeed max speed Coalossal. Even Timid at +6. We outspeed it, we go for a Thunder Wave, and we can neutralize it. Well, neutralize it in the sense of make it slow enough that something else can take it out. It's not just for that, though. Regieleki with a Scarf can outspeed a lot of their team. Even in Tailwind. Pokemon like Lucario, this outspeeds in Tailwind. And with the bulk that we have, we can take a Life Orb, Terra Normal E-Speed. The defense isn't actually what was EV'd for. I'm actually going more for the Spadef, and then the HP and defense is kind of where I ended up after that. The special defense is actually to take a non-Terra Fire +2 modest Heat Wave from Coalossal. If they choose not to Terra, or if they're not Terra Fire, maybe they're Terra Rock instead, for some reason, then we can live. In case, say, I miss Thunder Wave. Because, I'll spoil it now, Thunder Wave is the lowest accuracy move on my team. So, yeah, we're not taking risks. We're taking minimal risks. Regieleki isn't just useful to Thunder Wave things, of course. It is also useful to Electro Web things as well, doing really good damage because we are max special attack here, and slowing things down that way. Alongside that, we've got the ability to pivot out with Volt Switch and then Thunderbolt to do really, really good damage. I believe I'm just making sure that I can out a Tornadus, with, I think I even KO with Volt Switch. Thunderbolt will get it if it's got some kind of bulk, if it's not just a Sash one, so we'll have to see. I brought it against Kathy kind of half as a meme, but also because I thought it was good. This time I think it's my only option, so yeah, gonna be tricky. Next up, the lead partner if Coalossal comes, which is what we're expecting. And that is Gran. No one surprised, I'm leading my Water type. But we're not just leading it because it's good into Coalossal, it's because it's the only thing that is fast enough that even if Coalossal is max speed, it can actually outspeed it. Not just because it's a Water type, it's because it's the only thing I've got that can. Because if it's a timid max speed Coalossal, after a Thunder Wave it hits 180 speed. This is the only Pokemon I've got, because I've already got a Scarf by Regieleki, I can't have another Scarfer. So this is the only thing I've got that can be faster than it, and with Water Pledge, can take it out. What the calcs for Water Pledge, it should take it out after they've taken Aqua Jet Chip. We've just got Max because we're Focus Sash. We're Torrent, because, simply enough, I don't want to lose my Water typing. If I lose my Water typing, things can get very bad very quickly. I want to keep my typing this time. Alongside that, it's very similar to the one we brought last time. Dark Pulse and Taunt are the same as before, and Icy Wind is my ice move of choice this time around instead of Ice Beam. Because Regieleki and Greninja is a pretty common lead and the one I tested most with, oftentimes just going for Electro Web plus Icy Wind is really solid and can actually take out Tornadoes, while also neutralizing the Tailwind on at least the Pokemon that led alongside it, which is really, really nice. So that gives us a really good opportunity. Taunt is for mostly the Gothitelle. I can't KO with Dark Pulse. Yeah, as I say, Water Pledge, because that's the best thing I've got. So I'm not going for Hydro Pump. I considered even things like Loaded Dice Water Shuriken, but it just wasn't strong enough. So, Water Pledge was honestly just something I was grasping at straws, looking through every possibility. It's like, maybe do I try and go Surf? Maybe do I go Physical? Is that a possibility? I did not want to go Hydro Pump in finals, and I scrolled all the way down, saw Water Pledge, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot that this Pokemon gets this. I would have used this way more this season if I remember. So, this is the most likely lead, is Regieleki Gren, our two fastest Pokemon, and trying to get off as much as possible. But, what happens maybe if they don't bring Coalossal? Well, if they don't bring Coalossal, Gren doesn't come at all. There's no reason for it to. Instead, we can lead alongside Regieleki, an extremely powerful Pokemon, Excalibur. We've got enough speed to outspeed a -1 speed Barraskewda that is going for the speed that I'm expecting, and a little bit more on top. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. The attack investment is so that Icicle Crash can take out Ursaluna, max HP Ursaluna. Excalibur, though we haven't used it too much this season, is still a beast. Alongside Icicle Crash, which is tied with the lowest accuracy move on the team with Thunder Wave, we have Ice Shard, Glaive Rush, and Protect. The item being a Chocolate Berry. We're trying to overcome all the things that make Excalibur bad, the middling speed and the weaknesses, with Ice Shard and the Chocolate Berry. Chocolate, because I think it's the most likely super effective type that's going to come towards it, other than Dragon Claw from Roaring Moon, if they choose to bring Dragon Claw. There's no guarantee that they do, honestly. Maybe they run like DD, Crunch, Acro +1. There isn't Dragon Claw for some reason, or a DD Protect. Maybe they run Roost, maybe they run Tailwind on it. Either way, like, there's no guarantee they bring Dragon Claw, but I think they will. But Bax is at least bulky enough that it should take a non-boosted one. But things like Lucario's Close Combat, that's another story. So, that's why we've got the Chocolate Berry. There's also a bunch of random fighting moves that can come out from different Pokemon, such as Ursaluna, Beartick even, Barraskewda gets Close Combat, there could be some random brick breaks here and there, such as from Tornadus or Roaring Moon if they're expecting me to go for Screens Regieleki. So, yeah, I think Chopper's probably the most likely. His Bax has, what, 4 weaknesses? It's Rock, Fighting, Steel, Dragon and Fairy. So, sorry. I've not been feeling well the last few days, so apologies if I do sound a bit off as well. Glaive Rush is the other move of choice alongside a double ice. Just because it does so much damage. I could run something like Stomping Tantrum just for Lucario, but I expect Lucario, if it's going to come, is probably going to tear it anyway, so I don't think that's worth it. And as I was mentioning with the weaknesses, I think, other than Dragon, and maybe Rock Slide here and there, I think that fighting is the most likely super effective hit to come out against Bax, and Bax getting an extra turn is huge. So, yeah. I was considering DD, but I was like, there's no way I can get DD. Bax isn't something that is locked to a non-Coalossal team, however, it could come in the back, but if they do not bring Coalossal, it's something that comes in the front. On the other hand, if Coalossal does come, this next Pokemon does not come in the slightest. But if they don't bring it, and it's the reason why I think they have to bring it, then this can just win. And that is Iron Defense Body Press Bronze. I brought this last time, but this time we're going all in on it. We're not running any Spadef. We're running full max HP, max defense, Iron Defense, Body Press, Protect, and Trick Room. If they do not bring... The only thing is that I realistically can break this thing quick enough are Coalossal and, like, Roaring Moon. That's really it. Because of the combination of Levitate and a Steel type, Ursaluna can't break it quick enough. It gets Crunch, but one Iron Defense, and this really can get out of hand. It also gives us options to set up Trick Room. Bronzong is... I mean, he's been amazing for us, so... this is one where, like, if they prep poorly, this can just win. Or if I just feel like I'm desperate. If I'm desperate for something, then I will potentially bring it. Even if they have Coalossal in preview. But for the most part, if they have Coalossal in preview, Bronzong doesn't come. If they don't have it in preview, Bronzong can come. So. Our next Pokemon does pair well with Bronzong, but isn't necessarily needed with Bronzong. The last two Pokemon, in fact, are Pokemon... I made the team with the first four, and I was like, okay, well, what if they bring... Okay, what if they bring Coalossal again, made the lead? Okay, what if they don't bring Coalossal, made the lead? Okay, well, if they're not... If I have something that's good when they don't bring Coalossal, I should have something else that is good, and that's why Bronzong came in. The last two Pokemon had to be, in my eyes, two Pokemon that, regardless of what they brought, they were good. They were good to bring in the back, potentially even in the front if need be. The first of those two is the Don himself, Donphan. Max HP, max attack, expert belt sturdy, high horsepower, knockoff, ice shot, and protect with Terra Grass. Similar with Bax Caliber, Ice Shard just turns out to be such a nice move in this matchup. Picking off Torn, picking off Roaring Moon, picking off Ursaluna, picking off so many things with low HP is super, super nice. And I contemplated Ice Shard, I contemplated Ice Spinner, because obviously they have Thwacky, they love Thwacky. I also considered Terra Grass Seed Bomb for Ursaluna, but the thing that sold me on it was actually the fact that high horsepower plus Ice Shard, depending on their bulk, actually can take it out because of the expert belt. Knockoff is great for Gothitelle, as well as just clearing items. It's really, really nice. And high horsepower can just do a ton of damage to a ton of different Pokemon. It's bulky, it'll take a hit guaranteed because it's sturdy. Donphan has made me realize how good sturdy is in draft, because oh my god, just being able to guarantee take a hit always is super, super nice. And we are min speed as well, something to know. This doesn't underspeed Ursaluna. It speed ties it. So, if they also choose to bring a min speed Ursaluna, then so be it. But I am going for min speed because I don't know if they're going to hard commit to Trick Room with Ursaluna. Don't know if it's a guarantee, so we'll see. There's a lot of combinations of Pokemon they can bring. Donphan is just good to have in the back, because if they do bring Trick Room, then Donphan's just a really nice Pokemon to have. It's slow, it's bulky, it does a lot of damage, regardless of what they bring. And the last Pokemon is actually one that came last time as well, and Very little changed with it, but that's because I tried to make a different set for it. It didn't work. I went back and looked at the old set, and I think it's still the best set. And that is Moltres with a Covert Cloak this time instead of Citrus Berry. That's the only change. It's Terra Water, it's Flamethrower, it's Terra Blast with that Terra Water, Tailwind, and Helping Hand. Max Speed, Speed Tie Lucario. Enough special attack to OHKO the Lucario. And then the rest in bulk. It gives us our ability to match Tailwind. Covert Cloak is the ability... Sorry, it's the item this time of a Citrus, because originally Covert Cloak was on Regieleki the first time we played, but now that's freed up, so we've put it on Moltres instead. They've got double Fake Out, I've probably got to have a Covert Cloak somewhere. This could be a lead option if need be, if they don't have Coalossal and I want more, if I want something that can guaranteed hit, if they choose to lead a Fake Out, like a Fake Out lead, so... but it's also just good in the back. Backdoor Tailwind, Terroring can get rid of his weaknesses to notably Rock, and just have a nice defensive Terror typing while also being able to do good damage into Coalossal and Ursaluna as well. So, they don't have a lot of really great ways of beating water types, so hopefully Moltres could, well, the main one is Flaky. But we have Flamethrower coming off a stab, and we'll do a good amount of damage, so... I think this is the best we're gonna get. I don't think I can really... I've tried to think, and I don't think this is... I don't think I can make a better team. So, I don't feel confident, but I got the reassurance that as long as I play well, stick to game plans, but deviate if needed, then I think we can do it. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but no one said being the best was easy, and taking out Lord Nobody is what I've got to do to show that I am, in fact, the winner for this season. So, let's see if we can do it. Play later today. I'm gonna go get some rest, because I've just finished work. And I'll see you for the games. Wish me luck. Alright. This is it. I'm a little tired because I woke up like not too long ago, but no Johns. Oh boy. Oh. Oh god. I think we've got what it takes. If you notice here, actually, these were the test things that I did against. I made a couple test teams to try and play against. They weren't perfect, of course, they were pretty generic, but we'll see what happens. Let's do this. Did you bring it? No Thwacky. It's a big one. No Thwacky. No Bear Tick. Honestly, I'm a little happy about no Bear Tick. Not gonna lie. My Okay, well with Coalossal we have to do our Gren lead. Doesn't matter. Against this composition. It's never Bronzong. I think Donphan's actually really solid here. Is it Donphan Moltres or is it Donphan Bax? That's the question. I think it's Donphan Bax. Honestly. I'm gonna go Donphan Bax. The priority Ice Shard as well as having something faster than Ursaluna. I think it's gonna be really nice. So, I wonder what they're thinking about. I suppose they've got to think about whether or not to lead Coalossal or not. Alright, they choose not to. But not exactly bad for me. First emphasis speed. That's fine. We outspeed that. Electro Web, and then it's a question of what do we want to go for? We go for an Icy Wind. This is where I wish I had Ice Beam, of course. Electro Web will do 35%. And then Gren won't be able to pick it off. Sadly. How much was T-Bolt doing? 76. Not bad. Okay, so how much does Bax do with an ice shard into Roaring Moon? $57, which I think Icy Wind won't put it in range of. I think I'm gonna go for T-Bolt and Icy Wind. We go for Crunch, we do get to live, and then Icy Wind gets to take out the Lucario and speed drop there, which is really, really nice. So it's special Lucario. And it's Barrascuda. They do have a priority hit here. Banded Aqua Jet will kill me. Non-banded Aqua Jet actually will kill me. I thought it was at 36, not 31. Oh, they didn't bring Torn. Wait, that's insane. Okay, so I think it's going to be Aquajet. Gren will outspeed, which is really, really nice. And I think just going for another Icy Wind is really good, because then Bax will outspeed. So I think we just go for T-Bolt here, and we go for an Icy Wind. Really, really nice. Lowers the speed on both. We take out the Froge. Now Bax outspeeds. We've got the Chopper Berry for this thing. I can't go for Glaive Rush because I'll take too much damage. We outspeed this at this point because we outspeed 195 speed. So we go for a Terra Grass, High Horsepower here. And then sadly I do have to risk a crash. I've got a Chopper Berry for close combat, so I feel pretty good. Okay. That still takes a ton, which is really, really nice. How much was it? 57? Against Roaring Moon? Oh, that's not how you spell Roaring Moon with the slightest. 57. Trick Room doesn't matter. I'm just gonna double protect. I ain't gonna risk it. Yeah. You go for a knockoff into Goth. Find out its item. And I think going for a Glaive Rush is fine. Right? I think going for Glaive Rush is fine. Because if they hit Bax, then they're not hitting Donphan. They get the double, which is crazy, but we do get to knock off Lum. Okay. Lum's good to know. I could go for Ice Shard here into the Bax. I'm tempted to double Ice Shard is my thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna double Ice Shard. So what the plan here is if I double Ice Shard into Roaring Moon, even if it doesn't die, to the Bax Ice Shard, which means we're putting a significant amount of bulk, then Donphan will pick it off. If it does die to the Ice Shard, then I think the Ice Shard damage from Donphan will make it so that the Barraskewda's in Ice Shard range as well. Plus the Barraskewda could protect here. So yeah, I'm gonna double Ice Shard. Do get a crit. I don't think it mattered. They go for CC, but we've got the Chopper for a reason, baby. And now I think the double Ice Shard play is also very viable, but they could also protect. And if they protect here, then things can get dicey. Okay, so if they protect Roaring Moon, I think if I knock off the Barraskewda and Ice Shard the Roaring Moon, that covers everything. If they protect Barraskewda, then it's a 2v1, but Donphan should win the 2v1, even if Roaring Moon lives the Ice Shard. If Roaring Moon lives the Ice Shard, then then Barraskewda takes out Donphan. Sorry, Barraskewda takes out Bax, then Donphan takes out Barraskewda, and then Donphan beats Roaring Moon 1v1. So we go for knockoff into this, and then we go for Ice Shard into this. They go for protect there, so they take out this, but then Donphan gets to take out the thingy, and then 2 Ice Shards is enough to take this thing out. Yeah. And they can't OHKO us because we have Sturdy, also because Donphan's a beast. And that's game 1. Okay. 1 game down. Better than we did last time, that's for sure. Last time we didn't even take a game. Let's check some things as well, while we've got a little bit of time. Barraskewda. Level 50. Oh. Much expand, that's for sure. There was a min roll on Adamant, so it could still be Jolly, which would make sense, because I think it has to be Jolly to outspeed Gren. It would be an average roll on Jolly. Okay, also I want to check Roaring Moon against Donphan. Roaring Moon. No item, acrobatics, no terraflying. I did a lot. Right? Oh, because it's holding an item. Okay. 57 to 69, and though it did 58. Okay. Again, I have to be ready for Coalossal, so we bring those. Donphan's amazing. We bring Donphan. They brought Goth. Donphan's amazing. 4 Goth setups. And the Terragrass was really, really good. And I think Bax as well. I still think Bax is the play. I don't think Moltres does it here. Not when they can preserve Barraskewda, and I think I need to Terra Donphan here, so we go with Bax. I think that's the play. Terra fighting Lucario, and it's special. Good to know. I think it's also kind of funny, we both got crits that I don't think mattered. It's hard Trick Room. It is hard Trick Room. This is why I like having Donphan here, so here's the plan. The hard Trick Room. We Thunder Wave... Sorry, we Volt Switch Aleki out, see if we can get it out, and we taunt the Gothitelle. If we can prevent Trick Room. If they fake out Gren to break the Sash, then Aleki gets to get out, and we get to go into Donphan early. Which is really, really nice. If they fake out Aleki, then Gren gets the taunt and then no Trick Room. So we get to Volt Switch out, we get to go into Donphan. Who is a beast in its own regard. And because they didn't set up Trick Room, I get to go into Bax as well. And -1, Bax is killing. Oh, Bax is killing. Ursaluna? I don't care how much HP you got. This is the one, the only Bax caliber. -1 defense? Oh, you dying. Even if you're max HP. So we can also get a free knockoff into this Goth, which is great. You get to find out its item. Ooh, really good play. Really, really good play. I'll unfault them on that one. Is again to just... Well, no, Justify doesn't matter. Justify doesn't matter. I could protect Bax here, like... Bax will kill Ursaluna. Bax is bulky enough to take a hit. It's really just going to come down to Regieleki in the end. It's not Cole, it's going to be Roaring Moon. It's going to be Roaring Moon or Barrascuda. I only need one of these two alive to take on that Pokemon. I think I just go for the offense. We give a high horsepower here into Lucario, and we go for the Icicle Crash once again into Thingy. The Icicle Crash into Ursaluna. We play aggressive. It's mostly so they can't, like... They can't do, like, a switch to from Lucario to Goth. And then, like... Go for a double protect. Yeah, go for a protect here. So we get a crash this. And high horsepower. And now what I can do is just double protect. I don't have to worry about the Goth. Even if they know double protect's coming, what are they going to do? Set Trick Room? Donphan's min speed. Donphan's min speed, Bax is going to be slower than Lucario. Combination of high horsepower. In fact, I think double Ice Shard might even be enough to take out Ursaluna, to be honest. So I don't even have to risk speed. Even if they know double protect's coming, I think it's fine. Yeah, there you go. Try and break the Sturdy. They are risking Focus Blast in finals? You are insane, my friend. We should live it, because I've got the Chople. We will check. Lucario. Focus Blast? Yeah, I'm living. It is Life Orb, we know that. It could be modest, could do a little bit less. But that is not Terra Fighting. Terra Fighting Focus Blast might get us. Even through the Chople. Let's fight. If they're jolly... Not jolly. Timid. If they're timid, it's a roll. It's a 37% chance they get the kill. %. No. Okay, double Ice Shard wouldn't be enough to take it out. Would... Okay, Crash did 56% to Goth. Would a... $56? $58, okay. But if it was max HP, that'd be a max roll. I think Ice Shard can take it out. So I think what we do is we give a higher horsepower here, and we go Ice Shard into Goth. Even if Ursaluna's coming in, it's not going to appreciate this. Okay, Helping Hand's going to take me out. So I at least get this off. Helping Hand Flash Cannon, okay. High horsepower gets to take it out, though. It's a 2v2. It's Ursaluna and Roaring Moon. I can't protect, sadly. So I think what we do here is we go for high horsepower here. And we try and T-Wave this. They're going to protect it and go for Donphan here. Or the play is to go for high horsepower into Ursaluna. They let me T-Wave that. I'm shocked. Get a crit. Does Ice Shard take that thing out? That's a bulky one, that's for sure. Ursaluna? $51 to $61? Yeah, that's about right. Ice Shard only does 23. I think they've got it here, unless I get a para. I think they've got it unless I get a para here. I mean, I'm locked into T-Wave, so I'm useless for the game. I could just protect then. Okay, Ice Shard does get to take it out. And we get no lucky paras. Okay. Fair enough, I did crit them, which definitely mattered. So, I can't be too upset. Oh, God. They played that really well. They positioned really well there. The final game of Season 10. Comes down to this. Their adaptation was Ursaluna. God, do I do it? They haven't brought Coalossal or set. You know what the crazy part is? Maybe I don't lead Regieleki. What if I don't lead Regieleki? Regieleki was mostly here because of Torn. I could lead... No, because of Coalossal. God, if it's Coalossal. What if I did Bren backs? Bren backs could be it, actually. God, if they lead Luke, though, that's so rad. It's so rad if they lead Luke. I really want to switch it up, but if they go Cole now, I'm dead. I think I have to go to same 4. As dumb as it sounds, I think the same 4 is the play. Moltres doesn't do enough. Luke being a special attacker also complicates things massively. I think they've got too much pressure for Donphan. So, it's Lucario Goth. How do I want to do this? It's not Trick Rooming. There's no way it's Trick Rooming. Not at this point. I could just double Luke. Actually, no, I think Electro Web's the play. We go for Electro Web, and I think I just Dark Pulse this Goth. Honestly. I mean, that's to be expected. Get a crit, that is fortunate, of course. That is the joys and pains that come with Focus Blast, unfortunately. I mean, they take out Gren here, they Vacuum Wave, and they kill it. I think because of how this ended up going, free Electro Webs actually takes out Luke. Unless they want to switch and save it, but then they're letting Gren live for a turn, and that might be dangerous for them. Actually, if they're doing this, I need to taunt this Goth. Okay. Didn't matter. Okay, the crit definitely mattered. Crit definitely mattered. It's Ursaluna or Paraskew in the back. It's never Cole in the back. They're gonna fake out Regieleki, so I think we go Don here. We gotta go. We go for Electro Web. I think we try and get as much damage on this Roaring Wind as possible. High Force Fire into Ice Shard will take it out. I think I said in the team builder that High Force Power into The high horsepower is just gonna kill the Roaring Moon. Obviously, breaking my sturdy sucks, but I think I'm just gonna go for a Regieleki anyway. And if I get to KO Roaring Moon, they do go for Donphan. They do break the sturdy, but Donphan's living anyway. Because Donphan's a beast. And this is still the play. Could have kept my sturdy in check. I don't think they can switch into anything that's gonna, like, take this high horsepower well. I'm surprised they went for it, to be honest. Because, like, the amount of times I've just protected in front of Goth. Not terroring, of course. What if I protected now? Get some extra chip. Because I might need the chip. Yeah, I'm gonna protect now, actually. We go for aggro. Because I'm wondering if I go for, if I go for knock into Goth, I can reset a Regieleki. And they can't switch this Roaring Moon out, which means Bax is going to outspeed. So it can be used to beat the last Pokemon, unless the last Pokemon's Ursaluna, of course. Yeah, I think that's the play. If they go for Donphan, then I get to reset a Regieleki. If they go for a Regieleki, then Donphan gets to come in. Sorry, then Bax gets to come in, which will outspeed the Roaring Moon. Yeah, I like that. And if they bring in, Ursaluna, then we get its Flame Orb, and if they bring in Barraskewda, we just get a ton of damage off. I'm not risking a high horsepower. God no. I think I'm risking a high horsepower. Crazy. Actually, I probably should risk a high horsepower. Who are they going for? I assume they're going for Donphan. They go for a Regieleki. It's Barraskewda last. This is at -4 speed. Still not... Donphan's still not outspeeding this. Worth noting. Okay. So here's my thinking. If I protect Bax this turn, I keep its Chople intact, I can go for a high horsepower with Terror into the Barraskewda. It goes wrong if they double Donphan. So I think they're going to protect Roaring Moon here. I think they're going to protect Roaring Moon. What if I Glaive Rush the... If if I Glaive Rush to the Barrascuda and Ice Shard the Roaring Moon, Glaive Rush will take out the Barrascuda. I think that works. I think we go Glaive Rush here and we Terra Ice Shard into Roaring Moon. I think they protect the Roaring Moon, but if they protect Barrascuda, it's really bad, of course. I think that's the main way this goes wrong, if they protect Barrascuda. They protect Roaring Moon. They CC, break the Choppel. We Glaive Rush into that slot, take it out. And that means a double Ice Shard is going to take out Roaring Moon. Holy crap! Yes! Yes! Let's go, baby! Woo! Oh! We did it! Let's go! Oh my god! That was a hell of a finals! Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Let's go! We are your UBL Season 10 champions! Oh! Shoutouts Cappy for the testing and also the congrats. Woo! Oh my god. We did it. We actually did it. I did not have confidence going into this one. They bluffed Coalossal, but even with our subpar lead, the duo of Donphan and Bax carried us through. Thank you, Lord Nobody, for an incredible set, and I will do some post thoughts about the team, trust me, because I love this team, so I will talk about it. I could talk about this team for years if you let me. So, we will talk about it once I've come down from the high of winning. But yeah, I'll see you guys in just a sec. Well, we did it. UBL Season 10 wraps up here. A hell of a season. These have been some incredible games that I've got to play. And there's no beating around the bush. This is probably one of my favourite teams I've ever drafted. And I think other than the Lunala team back in Season 1, it's probably my favourite team I've won with. Just because the Lunala team has a special place in my heart. But this team... oh, this team. I could go on for hours about this team and how much I love it. And I think it's fair to say, there is not a single bad Pokemon on this team. We'll talk about each piece individually, but there's not a bad Pokemon on this team. I really gave it some thought, and I wouldn't have changed anything. Like, I had the opportunity to swap Gren out for Inteleon a little bit into the season. And I had the opportunity to maybe trade out Miss Mages to get up a Fake Out user. But I don't think I would have. I'm glad I didn't. This team has 9 goats, and When we get to talk about all of them individually. Starting from, I think, least used to, and we'll go up from there. Least brought to matches. Sadly, the least brought to matches was Miss Magius. Magius was only brought to 3 matches. It was brought to Parago, Kathy, and the semi-finals versus Jig. I've actually removed the Season 8 Jig just because, the Season 10 match I didn't play against Jig in the regular season, just for counting, like, making it easier on me. But, it only came to 3 games, and honestly could have come to more. Miss Magius was, like, really impressive. Like, it was, like, just what I needed in some games. Great speed tier, good coverage, good utility, if need be. It was really good. Like, it was really good. Especially being able to terror it as well. Terroring it obviously made a difference. But this is a mon that I feel happy that I've used. But you let me pick this up in the future and I will. I'll be happy to pick this up in the future. This is a great mon for low tier value. Levitate obviously is amazing. Like I said, the utility is really good and it just does so much damage surprisingly. And I'm glad I upgraded the nickname as well. And I think honestly that's the reason why we won in semis, because we gave it the name Hatsune Miku. That's the real reason why it ended up doing so well. So, it's me, just love it. Great Pokemon. I think I honestly love it more now with the Miku collab and this draft. Like, it's definitely raised up as one of my a Pokemon that I was like, yeah, I like this Pokemon too. Yeah, I love this thing. Next up, as another Pokemon I actually really like, is Florges. Florges only into 4 games, and I think probably a Pokemon that I wish I got to use more. I think I don't add the team for Florges. I wanted to do more stuff with Symbiosis, but my only Paradox Pokemon was Brute Bonnet, and it just didn't really work out that well. Oftentimes it just didn't really fit. It ticked the boxes in theory. It had the good speed tier, it was a fairy type, it hit really hard, it had supporting options. I just think that this wasn't the team for it. I think if I had a team that was more supportive of it, gave it more opportunity to maybe set up Calm Mind, maybe set up Terror, maybe Terror, then I think it could have done more. As is, this is you know my feelings on Florges at this point, if you've been watching for a while. I still love Florges. I don't think this was the season for it. I wish I got to use it more. But and the few times it did come, it wasn't the most impactful. But it was still really solid. Still happy to have used it, of course. Probably the most impactful one. I think I brought it against Canna, maybe? Maybe it was more against Rat that I used it. I feel like I used it. I don't quite remember. But it was always just a nice option to have. So, Pokemon I wish I could have used more and maybe better, but I think if it was able to Terror, it would have made a big difference. As is, it just didn't quite have the oomph or the coverage needed to do as much as I would have liked. But, hey, I'm not gonna diss Florges. I still love this Pokemon. Next up in terms of usage, actually goes, surprisingly, the Pokemon that did a ton in the finals, Excalibur. I think I've said this most, but Excalibur didn't come to a lot of games. But when it did, it was a monster. Every time it came to a game, it was an utter beast of a Pokemon. It's amazing. Like, This mon is so strong. Against... Did I run Chopple against Final Gambit as well? Against Final Gambit, it was planned to be disgusting, and it still was to an extent. Powergo, we even had the opportunity to set up with it. Kathy, I actually didn't get to do one of the things with it that I wanted, which was I was going to, if we played in playoffs, I was going to use Ridge Powder Brute Bonnet and just set up a DD with backs and just try and win. I'm going to be honest. But instead, we didn't end up playing them. And then obviously in finals, it put in an absolute shift. Trying to, if you can overcome Bax's weaknesses with, say, speed control and maybe trying to, like, bulk it out, this mon just wins. This mon does so well. And I don't even have the buff of Scale Shot, so lower dice Scale Shot with Icicle Spear is gonna be terrifying to see if anyone ends up picking that up in next season. Because, oh boy, will that ruin teams. Bax is a scary, scary Pokemon. I think if I didn't get to use it much in finals, I would have said I was disappointed I couldn't use it more. But because it put in that much of a shift in finals, I feel satisfied. Bax is a monster, and I feel really happy I got to use it. This mon's a terrifying threat. That if you just don't respect, you can just lose to it. It will just ruin you from how strong it is, the good coverage it gets. God, if you're not ready for Bax, you will lose. Next up in terms of usage actually goes to Greninja. So Greninja was a Pokemon that I was not too happy to initially pick up. I had the option to swap out around week 3 because Kanna, who took the Inteleon I wanted, ended up dropping it. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm really, really glad I didn't. Because the fact that I got this meant that my match against Eris was way better because I could go mixed. I think against Final Gambit I went physical. No, against one team I went... Is it Kanna? I went mixed there. Did I go physical here? No? I definitely thought about going like full physical like a couple times. The fact that this thing can go physical and... This is like really strong mix, to be fair, against Eris. The fact that this thing can go mixed and have moves on either side is actually really good. Protein obviously makes a big difference as well, sort of giving it a terror. Fast Taunt's amazing. I think every time it came, it ran a sash. I think every single time it came, it ran a sash. Yeah, it absolutely ran a sash every single time it came. But that doesn't matter. It was Fast Taunt, it was good coverage, it had speed control and Icy Wind. It put on enough offensive pressure where you couldn't ignore it. You couldn't ignore Greninja. In the finals there, like, they ended up just, like, trying to remove it as quick as possible because otherwise it was just going to be an issue. It came mostly in the early weeks and then kind of dropped off in the later weeks, but I did have a good amount of special attackers in fairness, so my hands, I think, sometimes were a bit tired, and sometimes the speed wasn't quite enough, just, like, based on the opponent's team, or, like, it just didn't have quite enough oomph or impact, but, I'm still really happy with Gren. Like, Gren's a surprisingly versatile Pokemon. We put it higher in the points tier just because of the versatility, and I'm glad that I showed that off. Like, sure, it was Sash every week, but the fact that it could go physical, special, the fact that I even considered Water Shuriken loaded dice as well. Like, it has Helping Hand, it has the coverage necessary to just, like, hit everything it needs to for good damage, and I think that's really enough. Haze as well is really nice if anyone ends up drafting Dondozo, or anything of that nature. So, yeah, no, I'm really happy with Greninja. I'm glad that Kanna sniped me. on Inteleon, because otherwise I would not have gotten Greninja and learned how much of a good Pokemon this really is. Like I say, the fact that it can go mixed is more of a benefit than I could have actually imagined. So, and then I think in terms of usage, certainly in terms of brought to preview, I don't think brought to actual nearly as many games as you would expect. So what? Yeah. Is Brute Bonnet. So Brute Bonnet and I have a interesting relationship. The thing about Brute Bonnet is, I don't know if I was actually very good at using it. A lot of the time, I often didn't really bring it that defensive, or with the intention of being a support Pokemon. Because I brought it to preview a bunch of times, and there's one Spore? And I think I almost never brought... It was very rare for me to bring Brute Bonnet actually out. It still had its moments, of course. I think notably against Jig, it would have been... the match would have been much tougher without Brute Bonnet being able to help take out the Goodra. But it didn't come to as much as I think was expected. And I think also just put the fear of God in people as well, because of Rage Powder and Spore, and it's basically Amoonguss. But, maybe it was a team thing, maybe it's a me thing? I still think Brute Bonnet's a good Pokemon. I think that's something I can't understate. I think Brute Bonnet's a really good Pokemon, and I think I was just more in the mindset of, why would I put something to sleep when I could just murder it? Because Brute Bonnet can do that. It does really good damage. So I think a lot of the time I just wasn't in the mindset to use it as a redirection Pokemon, or as a supportive Pokemon. I was just in the mindset of want to kill things with it, because it's strong. It's really strong. So I think Brute Bonet's in a similar way to Florges, where, like, sure, it came to preview a lot, but it didn't come to as many, like, actual, like, didn't hit the field as much. I would like to use Brute Bonnet again. I think it would be an interesting Pokemon to kind of use with a different team. Maybe one that would appreciate more redirection, that wasn't just Rage Powder Trick Room. But I still think it's a really solid Pokemon. So I think the other thing as well is I'm not confident in using Rage Powder Trick Room as a way to set up Trick Room, because Safety Goggles just ruins that. I prefer my Fake Out Trick Rooms and my Follow Me Trick Rooms. Rage Powder can be a bit iffy in draft, but I mean, when it did offensively well, it really popped off, so I can't really be mad at Brute Bonnet. I'm still really happy with the Pokemon. So I can't really fault it for that. I would be happy to draft it again, and maybe see if just a different team comp, similar to Florges, would actually really help it. And do different things with it, so. Yeah, sad I didn't get to use it as much, even though it came to preview a lot. It didn't really come to as many games, but like I say, when it did, it did put in a shift, so I can't really be mad at Brute Bonnet. But then we get to the top 4. And these top 4, I really can't understate enough. These top 4 Pokemon carried this draft. So I want to give more of a special attention to these 4. Last time I had a quad 4 of really goated Pokemon, it was back in Season 2. With Tapu Koko, Mega Kangaskhan, Arcanine, and Lugia. Keep in mind, this was a restricted format in Gen 7. That was a goated core, but didn't really have a good team to support it. This time, it's 4 Pokemon that are just all insane. Some came to every game, some came to most games, and as soon as I realized the power behind some of these Pokemon, it was truly something special. So we're going to go a little bit out of order for this one. I think it's worth talking about this one first, despite it coming to every single match to preview, and that's Bronzong. Before drafting Bronzong, I always thought it's a really good Trick Room setter, it's a solid Pokemon overall. Sometimes maybe it's just a bit too high tier for me personally, I don't know. I will never undersell Bronzong again. This mon's amazing. This mon's friggin' amazing. Great speed tier, it's not quite base 30, which is where you want to be for Amoonguss. But great speed tier. Great support options. Great offensive options as well. I didn't get to use it, but it does get Nightshade, so even if you can't rely on Heavy Slam or Gyro Ball or Body Press for good damage, or even on the special side with Psychic and Flash Cannon, you can still do pretty reasonable damage. The supporting options are really nice. I wish I could have done something with Gravity. Imprison Trick Room, of course. Skill Swap, again, another move I didn't really have the team support for. If I had the right team for it, I think Skill Swap would have been insane. Of course, Iron Defense Body Press. If Lord Nobody didn't bring like the right team to break the Bronzong in finals, they would have lost. They would have lost to this Bronzong. It was an amazing Trick Room setter. It could always come in the back. In fact, sometimes just did, like against Final Gambit. We just brought it in the back to set Trick Room. Amazing Pokemon. We'll never undersell Bronzong again. Great abilities, great bulk, decent enough damage, great supporting options. I will never underestimate Bronzong again. And his partner in crime, of course, the one, the only, the Don himself, Donphan. This Pokemon massively overperformed and blew everyone's expectations out the water. And I think that's mostly due to the fact it could Terra. The fact that it could Terra out of weaknesses, but also maybe even go for Terra Fairy Play Roughs, maybe go for just Resistances. I definitely consider Terra Ice a lot of times for powerful Ice Shards or Ice Spinners. This Mon is amazing. It does so much damage. I originally was just like, yeah, I'm just going to bring it in Trick Room sometimes and be an Earthquake Spam Mon with next to Bronzong. No, this Mon is way more than that. This Mon is a beast. This Mon is amazing. I love it. It does so much damage. Sturdy is an amazing ability in draft because people have to hit it twice. And hitting Donphan twice sometimes is just the death of them. It's such an amazing Pokemon. Great coverage. Donphan, you have proved you are not just the average Tusk. You may be not quite a great Tusk, but you're certainly an above average Tusk. And you've proven that one with this league. No one's going to underestimate the Don again. And that's a fact. And a Pokemon that I really can't understate, God bless you, the fiery chicken himself, Moltres. Again, another Terra Captain, and this one I had faith in, no one else did. Looking at you, Canna, you had no faith in this bird. I knew this bird was amazing. And with Terra, it showed it. With Tailwind and just the right coverage, especially with Terra Blast, it did exactly what it needed to. It could burn things, it could pivot, it could support. It's an amazing Pokemon. I love you, Moltres. You really brought this draft together. But I can't really sell this draft without the man, the myth, the legend, Regieleki. What brought the draft together. Donphan and Moltres both came 7 times each. Bronzong came to every match, and this is the only other one to come every single time to put the fearing dot in people. Even though I paid more points than I probably should have for this thing, I don't care. This Mon is one of my favourite Mons to ever use, and I'm so glad I finally got to use it in draft. This Mon's amazing, the speed control it offers, even with power creep, even with the nerfs. They tried to nerf Regieleki into the ground. You can't nerf Regieleki. He's too fast for your nerfs. He's such a goated mon. I love him to bits. And you'll never, ever catch me not wanting to draft this thing again. I love this mon. I love the 4 goats of this team. Really, really shined. And maybe some of them shine maybe more than they should have. Moltres, for example, no one expected. Lord nobody said it themselves. They were scared of Moltres. They were, after seeing the work that I've put in with Moltres ever since week 3. In fact, since week 3, it did not come. It came to every single game. Into every single game since week 3. It's just bulky enough, sets Tailwind, does great damage, really adaptable. Love this Pokemon. I loved Galarian Moltres before this, and I was just like, yeah, I like Moltres, it's cool. This has massively changed that. I love this thing now. I had when we tiered it at 8 points, I was like, I still think this one's going to be really good. And, you know, some people will, you know, sorry, Canna, for calling you out, but they were like, yeah, I don't think it's very good. And, I think I've proved people wrong. I think this is a Pokemon that is going to get drafted next season. Even if it's not by me. Someone's going to draft Moltres, because I think I've proven this Pokemon is extremely good. Especially because it can Terra. Terroring obviously made a huge difference, getting rid of its weaknesses. Screw you, Talonflame. You ain't the best fire flying type. Moltres for me. And like I say, Donphan, the Terror captains of this team, by the way, it's 3 goats. It's just 3 goats. It's just 3 amazing Pokemon. All of them were amazing with Terror, and I'm so glad that they were. In fact, if I got Inteleon, I wasn't going to Terra Donphan. I was going to Terra Moltres always, and then Terra whatever the last Pokemon was, because I wouldn't have had the points for it. But instead I got to Terra Donphan, and it made the difference. I'm so glad that I got to. And, yeah. As I mentioned as well, the GOAT himself, Regieleki. I've always had a soft spot for Regieleki ever since it came out. I love this Pokemon to bits. The fact that you can be versatile with it. The fact that even with the power creep, with booster energy speed mons like Roaring Moon, Fluttermane, and Iron Bundle, as well as so many pranks to Tailwind mons, such as Talonflame, Tornadus, and Murkrow, Regieleki finds a way. I didn't even dual screens with this thing once. I was considering it. Only like towards the finals and semi-finals, but the fact that this thing's speed control is amazing. The fact that it still does really good damage. And if your opponent isn't ready for Regieleki, well, they've just lost. They've lost at the door. If your opponent is not ready for Regieleki, they've lost at the door. This team is something special, and will hold a special place in my heart. Because there's some Pokemon that maybe didn't do as well as I wanted them to, or maybe didn't get to have the right team for. Some Pokemon that I'm really happy with, and think that I'm did really solid, and really glad that I ended up drafting them. But some Pokemon on this team really pulled through, and I couldn't ask for anything more from these guys. With our speed, Shrooms But Mad, Ring FF, My Child, the Freaky Froge, the Don, Spicy Nuggies, Hatsune Miku, and Mr. Steal Your Girl. Farewell, my friends. You put in an absolute shift, and this will go down as one of my favourite teams I've ever used. Of course, this ain't over. We've still got Season 11 coming up soon, and I'll actually try and get it uploaded on time for once. Drafts like this are really what keep me playing, because sometimes you really get something magical, and I can't wait to play even more. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.